So one of the worst parts of the Trump era is watching all the charlatans and the con men and the frauds come out of the woodworks to effectively coddle Trump's nutsack and then get in his good favor, by extension getting in Maga's good favor, and then they become these superstars, they become beloved. Understand something, guys. It is all 100% cynical. I mean, a lot of these people, it was not that long ago that Elon Musk had sharp criticisms of Trump, that Elon Musk said it's time for Trump to step aside and give another person a chance. It wasn't that long ago that Vivek Ramaswamy said that he was outraged by Trump's actions on January 6th and that he was wrong. Well, now these guys have dropped any criticisms of Trump. They've hopped on the bandwagon and they've risen to prominence in the Maga movement. So here we are. And the thing that's most frustrating is their pasts get buried. If you're on MAGA's good side, they simply don't care. They don't care about your past. They don't care about the things you said. They don't care about the things you did. They don't care about crimes you committed. None of it. Look at RFK. The other week he came out, he called Trump supporters Nazis. They didn't care. J.D. Vance called Trump America's Hitler. Nobody cares. Again, Vivek Ramaswamy disagreed on January 6th and a whole bunch of the shit Trump did then. Nobody cares. But it gets worse than that. So the MAGA superstar, Vivek Ramaswamy, a lot of people don't know where the fuck he came from, right? Where did this guy come from? What did he do? Well, we have some answers. I think I played this for you in the past, but I want to bring it up for you now. Here, look at this.
So Vivek Ramaswamy seems to be the right's new it boy that all the conservative grifters like Candace Owens and Tim Pool are latching onto. And one of his big claims at the debate the other night was that he's not bought and paid for like all these other guys. But how exactly did he make his money at such a young age? And you're probably guessing, seeing as I'm making this video, that it wasn't some sort of unethical way. But you're going to want to stick around because I would almost guarantee you it's worse than you're thinking. After working at a hedge fund for a while, Vivek made his big money in the biotech space. Vivek had a company called Axivant that was incorporated in Bermuda, but was pushing a drug called RVT-101 that was supposed to help slow the effects of Alzheimer's. But where exactly did this awesome new drug come from? Did Vivek develop it? Well, of course not. And this is where it starts to get a little crazy, because he actually purchased the rights to it from a bigger company, GlaxoSmithKline, for just $5 million. But wait, hold up. If this drug does what they say it does, why would GlaxoSmithKline sell it for just $5 million when they could make billions? Well, it's because they had pretty much given up on the drug after it failed not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 clinical trials. Because what Vivek did is he took one of those failed clinical trials, put his mom on the research team, who is a doctor, but was also on the board and had stock options in the company, and they took some people out, reworked a couple things, finagled a couple others, and all of a sudden that failed clinical trial was now a clinical trial that showed significant improvement. Just like that. Overnight. You then, of course, rename the drug, and now you have a promising new drug and a finagled phase 2 clinical trial that you can cherry pick a few lines from. You then go on CNBC and talk about the unlimited potential that this company has. Then all you gotta do is file for your IPO and watch the money roll in. Even though before the company itself actually makes any money, you gotta pass phase 3 clinical trials, but more on that in a second. And when they eventually did do their IPO, it was the biggest biotech IPO ever. The stock doubled on the first day, and eventually it went from $15 all the way up to $50 based on a hope, a prayer, and Vivek's salesmanship. But then, after the stock shot up and enough time had passed so Vivek's family and rich friends could sell off their shares, it was then finally time to do stage 3 trials. And surprise, surprise, it completely flopped, which caused the stock to drop 99% in one trading day because it was now a worthless stock. But he had always known it was a worthless stock. And if you do know anything about the stock market, you're probably asking yourself, why does a company called Axivant have a ticker CO Gene Therapies? Well, that's because after the stock completely tanked, he changed the name because he wanted to make it harder for people to find his pump and dump company. So to recap, the guy that wants to be your president made his fortune by buying a drug that he knew was garbage, super cheap, then using one of the trials that proved it was garbage, having his mom rearrange a few things. He then went out into the media and sold it as the next great American company. And then some poor schmuck that happened to be watching CNBC that day invested in his company, and in one trading day lost everything. But it's okay though, because Vivek, his mom, his brother, and all his rich friends had already made a killing. Finally, in closing, Vivek seems to think that wokeness is destroying the country, but I would really like to ask him, what is hurting the country more? A person using they, them pronouns, or a guy that is running billion-dollar pump and dump schemes on Wall Street, destroying the lives of people that were silly enough to believe what he said?
Massive shout out to this guy. Phenomenal work. Phenomenal work. Look, these people are jokes. These people are scam artists. And it's been very obvious for a very long time if you're willing to pay attention and actually look at the specifics of who these people are, where they come from, what they've done. Let me recommend to you guys. I've recommended it before, but I want to highly recommend it for you. Go watch, type in to YouTube, Thunderfoot Elon Musk. And he's done like dozens of videos explaining in detail all of the various scams corrupt scams that Elon Musk was a part of. I mean, why are we taking these people seriously? Why is anybody taking these people seriously? Why didn't the media expose these people in the same way this guy does and then push them to the side, never mention them ever again, right? Yeah, scam artists are going to scam. There's going to be charlatans and con men, and they're going to try to climb the ladder. We got to prevent that. We need a media that tells the truth and then, shiv them, move on, and then hopefully they can't get a foothold because the work is done. But no, that's what happens with characters like this. They never go, they're like herpes. They never go away. They keep coming back. And they keep relying on people not ever taking a moment to look in their past. Look at what they've done. So the reality is, as Vivek acts like he's a fucking savior to the country, he's the problem with the country. The problem with the country is these shameless, corrupt billionaires and CEOs who rob people fucking blind and also worm their way into the government and try to rig it further in favor of billionaires and corporations. You're the problem. These guys are the problem. He's one of the elites that's ruining the country. Problem is not immigrants. The problem is not trans people. The problem is not Hollywood. These people are not the reason why your fucking healthcare sucks and your wages are too low and you can't get a day off. The problem is people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. By the way, Elon Musk is trying to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the best government agency that returns $17.5 billion to regular working Americans who were defrauded. They're also trying to destroy the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, destroy unions in this country. They are working day in and day out to fuck up your health care and lower your wages as they pretend like they're the saviors. That's exactly what Trump is doing as well. 3 million people lost health insurance in his first term. And he thinks he's what, good for the country? They'll just make it worse. It'll just make it worse. 8 million people got stiffed at their overtime pay under Trump. Is that good? Is that positive? That's what these people do. They represent the 1%. They represent the 1%. That's who they represent. This is a class war. And they're good enough con men that they've pulled the wool over everybody's eyes so people think, hey, maybe Vivek and Elon are fighting for me. Maybe Trump is fighting for me. They're not. They're robbing you blind. He did a fucking pump and dump scheme. So disgusting. By the way, RFK, any thoughts on this? Mr. Bro, Big Pharma's the problem. We're going to hold Big Pharma responsible. Really? Here's fucking Vivek Ramaswamy, did a fucking pharma pump and dump scheme, and what? You're buddy-buddy with him. You're buddy-buddy with him, because he's part of the fucking problem, too. God, fuck these people, man. Nobody should take them seriously. Jesus Christ. When is this country going to wake the fuck up? When are they going to wake up? It's tiring. It's tiring to have to go through the record, right? And just expose all of these absolute charlatans. But no, he'll get pushed out there like he's some sort of hero. He'll angle to be the 2028 nominee. When you're wealthy enough, it seems like there's never any accountability, right? There's never any justice. You can just keep skating by and ruining the country and then deflecting the blame and scapegoating immigrants and trans people and powerless folks. That's who these people are. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.